All right, and of course, it's the weekend after the Salah celebration and celebrating with all our Muslim faithfuls for, of course, granting us the grace to see this year's celebration. All right, this morning on Saturday Special, we'll start with the newspaper dailies, some of the stories that made the weekend newspapers. I will be taking you through the Nigerian Tribune and the Nation newspapers. And then we'll take you through the governor's activities for the week at Travelogue. We'll also, of course, be having the interview segment. And then we'll wrap it up with global updates. Those are some of the activities we have for you this morning. Of course, I'll begin from the Saturday Tribune of this morning. And the major story there says, kidnappings. Bag used to deliver ransom. Found in Seriki Fulani's kitchen. The story is on page 3. With one rider, it says, suspect says, I knew my son was a kidnapper, but I thought he had stopped. That story is on page 3. All right, we also have the story there this morning, still on page 3, Culture Kolos. Heritage dazzle at 2026 Ojudioba Festival. All right, moving to page 5 and 6, ADC to Tinubu, 30% approval. Rating reflects total failure. Oshu APM affirms Makinde as 2027 presidential candidate. Right there you have on page 4, dissociate yourself from presidential convention. We came back PDP urges Jonathan. FCT minister warns event center hotels against hosting unregistered, unrecognized parties. We will resist every attempt to intimidate us, Turaki-led PDP replies. All right, we'll go to page 5. In the new video, abducted or your principal begs government to negotiate with kidnappers. The story is on page 5. Let's go through all the stories there this morning. We'll come to page 6 and page 7. Page 4, okay, we'll take you through page 4 first. INEC must obey Supreme Court judgment on PDP affairs. That's coming from Bode George. Right at Atiba Varsity, March champion of 2026. Now still debate competition. Of course, going through all the stories this morning. 2027 NRM picks female consensus presidential candidate. Vows to unseat APC. All right, White Tinubu deserves a second term. That's coming from Speaker Abbas. On page 6, you have Kwasu showcases cultural unity with parade call for peaceful coexistence. All right, funeral ceremony of Mrs. Ewuola Comforter Aduni. Okay, all right, you also have the story there. 2026 Hajj, Saudi Crown Prince hosts CJN. Now, Kocham and others, that story is there on page 6. All right, let's come to all the stories there this morning on page. Okay, you have on the client's page, no happy Children's Day. Celebrities cry out as your school kidnapping sparks nationwide outrage. All right, ask the doctor page, drinking water before bed, walking for elders is, okay, let's drinking wine at 70. Any culture for Alzheimer's disease, addiction to masturbation, coke in my house, my early morning mouth odor. Those are some of the stories you find there on page 9. All right, on page 10, the interview page, insecurity has reached the level at which no one feels safe again. Major Salah, retired, said that. All right, on the women, wills and wealth page, you have to choose asset over liabilities. To pardon terrorists, kill them first. All right, that story, I don't know who is saying that, but you can grab a copy to see. All right, on the marriage and divorce page of the Saturday Tribune, you have the story there. My third wife attempted to stab me, threatening to kill herself because I married a fourth wife. All right, my husband smokes Indian hemp, squeezes my breast when beating me. She's free to go. That's according to the man. All right, I signed papers divorcing my wife under duress. I want her back. That's according to a man. You came back too late. That's according to the woman. All right, my wife charges me money for rounds of sex, man tells court. My husband beats, threw me out after I fed clothed in woman tells court. Wow. All right, on page 13, why Nigerians won't vote for APC 2027? That's coming from Zainab Buba Galadima. All right, on the entertainment page, Burna Boy, Shakira, finalists work on Die for 2026 FIFA World Cup. Afrima AU to celebrate Emerging African Talent at Diamond Party. The story is there on the Society Gist page. You have religious influence grows for Lagos politician James Odumba. All right, that's there. And you also have this. Okay, on the Achievers page, Nigeria needs pharmacists, entrepreneurs who build supply chain, not just work in them. That story is there coming from Mary Cynthia Osefo, UNN Pharmaceutical Best Graduating Student. All right, on the SOS page, our image APC primaries, Osun 2026, compete intellectually, not violently. OSMC tells politician, Children's Day, Ebuba celebrates children with love and food. All right, let's come to the intimacy page. The evil of emotional instability, marriage. Adam and Eve, kids and teen, double celebration, Salah and Children's Day for Nigerian children on the same day. All right, on the mom and child page, Oyo records healthier pregnancies with prenatal multivitamins round roll. All right, on the explicit style page, brooches, small details that elevate his styles. Okay, let's go to page 25 and 26 there this morning. All right, save us from looming genocide. Itakiri leaders begs federal government. And of course, you have KOH and the Lagos Channel constituency loud and Lawakala for initiative in House of Representatives. All right, on page 30, the sport page this morning, Messi going for record sixth World Cup. Okonkwo camps Chile. Winners emerge at CAF International Day of Sport SA Unity Cup. We are battle ready, says Ogun. And of course, we can beat Nigeria. Jamaica coach said that Nigerian football is retrogressing. Jamaica draft in Man United teenager for Eagles clash. How I cope with my first Eagle role. That's coming from Aziz. And of course, UCL final. I won't bet on Arsenal to win, says Wenger. Those are the stories from the Saturday Tribune. Over to you, Fumi.
All right, this morning I have the Nation newspaper. And on the front page, we have four stories. On page 4, nominations. Parties rush to beat INEC's deadline. And on page 2, your abductions. Don't use force. Principal begs Tinubu Makinde. The writer says 46 persons, including toddler, held captive, and that's coming from Baptist Church. And still on the same page, how kidnappers' ransom bag led to father's arrest in Ogun. And lastly, on the front page of the Nation newspaper, we have a story on page 4. PDP Turaki group clash over Jonathan. And that's all on the front page of the Nation newspaper, taking some of the inside stories. On page 2, court orders remand of blogger accused of defaming Elumelu. Culture Colors Heritage on Parade at 2026 Uju Festival as Abiodun celebrates unity. Ebonyi communal conflict killings. 2 monarchs, 31 others arraigned. All stories on page 31. 2027 PDP Turaki group clash over adoption of Jonathan. The rider says only parties recognized by INEC can use Abuja hotels, event centers, and that's coming from FCTA. We get to revoke titles of facilities used for illegal political meetings. Will resist every attempt to intimidate us. That's coming from faction vowing. Parties rush to beat INEC's nomination deadline. Commission mum over timelines after court judgment. NDC affirms Obi as presidential candidate. Picks flag bearers. Senator Marafa clinches governorship ticket in Zamfara. Parallel primaries rock Enugu NDC as Cuba candidate emerges. Amechi, nobody asked me to be vice president. And that's all on that particular story. On page 5, fuel subsidy removal saved Nigeria from bankruptcy. And that's coming from the president himself. Says economy recovery, agriculture booming after painful reforms. Governor's hail policy says states now reducing debt. And still on the same page, President commissions health project nationwide, deploys record emergency medical fleet. More political stories. Agreement we had with Okpebolo by PDP spokesman. Tinubu commissions TED Fund project across 4 tertiary institutions. Says investment in education will shape future generations. NDA, polytechnics key to Nigeria's manpower development. POS operators to suspend services. And that story is on page 6. You want to know why? You need to pick the paper to read about that. Tinubu has performed excellently, and that's coming from Otuaru. Moving to more stories. Okay, moving to the back page where we have some sports stories. Chell, Super Eagles will defend Unity Cup title against Jamaica. Saka, Arsenal fired up to beat PSG. FIFA, Okocha holds World Cup dribbles record. Fenerbahce push hard for Lukman Musala. And lastly, we have waiting for Nigeria in 2030. And that's all we have on the newspaper review this morning. I think moving on, we have governor's activities through the course of the week. Let's stay tuned and see what happened, what the governor was up to through the course of the week. Stay with us.
This week's activities of the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, commenced on Tuesday, 26 May 2026, with the governor hosting the leadership of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, who paid him a condolence visit over the recent security incident recorded in Orire local government area of the state. The national chairman of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, Professor Sadiq Gombe, alongside the party's presidential candidate and other members of the party, paid a condolence visit to Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, over the recent security incident recorded in Orire local government area of the state. Briefing journalists after a closed-door meeting with Governor Makinde, Professor Gombe said leadership at all levels must prioritize the welfare and security of citizens, stressing that provision of Chapter 2 of the Nigerian Constitution, which focuses on well-being of the people, should be treated with utmost seriousness. He commended the Oyo State government for effort to be made to prevent a recurrence of such incidents, noting that insecurity has become a national challenge affecting communities across the country beyond Oyo State.
Leadership is about the provision for the well-being of the late, provision of a social atmosphere in which the late will feel relatively secure, then provision of the necessary of belief. And if these basic tenets that are in our chapter 2 of the Constitution have been treated, everything about the country is treated. We know where we're heading to as a country.
Also speaking, the presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, Professor Adewale Adebayo, said the delegation visited to express solidarity with the people of Oyo State and sympathize with families and communities affected by the recent security incidents. He described the state government as a victim of what he termed the failure of the federal government to adequately protect lives and property across the country.
The reason why we came here is to give solidarity to the people of Oyo State and the government of Oyo State. And this is a sign that we need to come together. The state government is a victim of the failure of the federal government. And the state governor has told us all the effort he's making with Amatekun, with other community efforts, spending scarce resources of the state. We need to secure lives in this country. That teacher who got beheaded, if he wanted to join the army, he will have joined the army. Do you get beheaded for being a teacher? Now we are in a country where generals are being killed like chicken. So, President Tinubu, I plead with you, leave politics aside, focus on your job as Commander-in-Chief, and if you can't do it, quit the job.
The SDP leaders maintained that the worsening security situation in the country should transcend partisan politics, stressing that the protection of lives and the unity and survival of Nigeria must remain a top priority for all levels of government. On Wednesday, 27th May 2026, Governor Makinde received members of the state delegation to the Agudi Eid Grand during the Eid al-Kabir celebration at his private residence in Ibadan. Muslims in Ibadan, the Oyo state capital, on Wednesday joined their counterparts all over the world to observe the 2 Rakat Eid al-Kabir prayers led by the chief imam of Ibadan land, Sheikh Abubakar Agbotomokekere. The Oyo State government delegation was led by the state deputy governor, Barrister Bayo Lawal. Immediately after the rites and supplication were observed at the Eid Grand, the delegation paid homage to the number one citizen of the state, Governor Seyi Makinde, at his private residence to offer prayers. Among the dignitaries that paid homage to the state governor were the state political functionaries and the Are Musulumi of Yoruba land, Edo and Delta, Alhaji Dawood Makajola. The Islamic prayer was led by Professor Kamil Olosho. In his Salah message, the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, said the state remains a liberal and tolerant society where religion and ethnicity cannot easily be exploited to create division among the people. Governor Makinde noted that although political contests often come with disagreements, such differences should be regarded as temporary and not allowed to threaten the peace and unity of the state. Felicitating Muslim faithful in Oyo State and across Nigeria on the occasion of Salah celebration, the governor also assured residents that the government remains committed to securing the safe return of the victims of the recent security incident in Owerri local government area to their families.
We're moving towards the political season. And for us in Oyo State, we are very liberal and tolerant people. So it is difficult to use ethnicity or religion to divide us. Even as we move towards this political season, government will come and go, but our state and our country remains. Even when we disagree with ourselves, it's a temporary thing. In another 7-8 months, president-elect will have emerged, governors-elect will have emerged, and whoever emerges, we all have to work together in the interest of our state and our country with such individuals and set of. So I want to use this opportunity to wish us happy Eid celebrations. The challenges that we have, especially in Oyo State, with our school children being kidnapped, we're working round the clock to ensure that the children are united with their families.
Earlier in his remarks, the Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Barrister Bayo Lawal, commended the leadership qualities of Governor Seyi Makinde, describing him as a force to reckon with in Nigeria politics. Recall the various challenges the administration had faced since assuming office in 2019 and appreciated the people of Oyo State for their continued support. The Deputy Governor also expressed optimism that government will soon overcome the current challenges confronting the state.
Oyo State is blessed. In the last 7 years, under his leadership, Governor Seyi Makinde, the state is peaceful, is stable, and we pray and continue to pray for stability, peaceful coexistence among all faiths in Oyo State. The other thing is for all of us to continuously supplicate to Almighty Allah for security in our environment.
Dignitaries at the event included the Deputy Speaker of the Oyo State House of Assembly, Honorable Mohammed Fadeyi, federal and state lawmakers, commissioners, local government chairmen, politicians, and religious leaders. On Thursday, 29th May 2026, Governor Seyi Makinde joined members of the APM and PDP during a consensus primary election held in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. A popular event center along Old Ife Road, Ibadan, was filled to capacity as members of the Allied People's Party, APM, in alliance with the People's Democratic Party, PDP, converged to announce and affirm the party's governorship and other candidates through a consensus arrangement. The APM State Chairman, Otumba Adeberu, announced the party candidates for the State House of Assembly, House of Representatives, and Senate seats, while Mr. Bimbo Adekanbi, who was presented with a certificate of return of primary election, emerged as the APM governorship candidate in Oyo State. In his address, the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, expressed appreciation to the people of the state for their unwavering support for his administration over the past 7 years, noting that the cooperation and goodwill of residents had greatly contributed to the success recorded by his government. Governor Makinde also urged the people to extend the same support to the party's new consensus governorship candidate, Bimbo Adekanbi, advising him to build his own political relationship rather than inherit political adversaries.
For your support for administration and also for your support for the current political arrangement in Oyo State, which will also be national very soon. Eti tó omi tuntun apá kìíní wò bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ṣódù omi tuntun apá kejì kọ́ ṣódù lọ.
Yóò wà dé 20 yóò dé àbójú bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ.
Omi tuntun apá kẹta.
Speaking on the Orire local government security incident, Governor Makinde called on the federal government to support moves by the State House of Assembly to establish the state police structures rather than leaving the responsibility solely in the hands of the Inspector General of Police. In his acceptance speech, the governorship candidate of Allied People's Movement, APM, for the 2027 general election, Bimbo Adekanbi, assured the people of Oyo State that his administration will sustain the Omitutu vision of the present administration, promising continuity in governance and accelerated development across the state. Adekanbi, while commending the remarkable achievements of Governor Makinde, called on party leaders, stakeholders, and supporters to remain united and committed to the collective interest of the state, stressing that the future of your state must not be jeopardized because of personal ambitions and political considerations.
Together, we shall move Oyo State forward. Together, we shall sustain the gains of Oyo State. And together, we shall deliver continued development to every corner of our dear state. The victory ahead is just not for a political party. It is the victory for continuity. It is a victory for development, a victory for competence, a victory for the ordinary people of Oyo State. To the youth of Oyo State, this movement belongs to you.
Earlier in their separate remarks, the Oyo State APM chairman, Otumba Adeberu, alongside other party chieftains, including Chief Sakaba Logun, Chief Nureni Akambi, and Chief Enyade Elejire, appreciated members and party faithful for their unwavering support despite prevailing challenges. They urged party members to remain focused, patient, and committed to the party's ideas, while also charging them to work collectively towards securing victory in the 2027 general elections. Among other candidates unveiled was Senator Stanley Adedeji, Oyo South Senatorial District, Honorable Shina Pella, Oyo North Senatorial District, and Olufemi Ajadi for Oyo Central Senatorial District. The event was monitored by the officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. And that wraps up the activities of Governor Seyi Makinde for the week. With Samuel Adigun behind the camera, I am Olalekan Sulaiman, reporting for Saturday Special.
Progress no dey happen just like that. It dey come from support when you need am.
Mommy, I got the school fees. You too much.
Na money point too.
Money points, thank you.
Customer, na transfer abi? Confirm.
Bro, na transfer.
Na money point oga. Oh, na confirm.
Progress na peace of mind when you know say payment go land. Assure banker. Progress na small wind wey dey carry person go far.
No worry, yourself go make am. Mo go Bible.
Victor, even you dey use money point?
Of course now, they use money point.
Confirm.
Money point, made for your progress.
Saturday special on the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State. This morning, of course, we'll be looking at what we call X-Train, 3 years of the Tinubu administration. That's what we're looking at this morning. And of course, to do justice to the conversation, we have two guests in the studio. We have Professor Babatunde Adegoke, who is a public affairs analyst. You're welcome this morning.
Good morning.
And we have our second guest, Honorable Dele Akinleye, who is a political analyst. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good morning.
All right, so a quick one. Nigeria is currently navigating a highly complex socio-economic landscape under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. The nation faces severe hardship driven by soaring living costs, current depreciation, and inflation compounded by ongoing security challenges, although effort towards structural and tax reform remains a central focus of this federal government. Away from some of this that has been mentioned, insecurity seems to be the top on the agenda, followed by hardship, poverty, inability of people to earn a good living wage, and of course, hunger is everywhere, and one wonders how we got to this point. Looking at this administration, I like us to look at how we gained independence vis-a-vis civilian rule, and then we also touch on the military rule to see what has accumulated to form what we have today. Is it a followership challenge? A lot of people have been leadership. But I tell you, followers have a lot of role to play. I'll begin from Professor Babatunde. Tell us, let's go back to memory lane. We gained independence in 1960. Yes, we started with the parliamentary system of government, went into coup here and there, went into military government, and we came back to the civilian rule. And today we've had many years of uninterrupted military rule in Nigeria, which is the civilian rule in Nigeria. And today, despite all this transformation, we cannot specifically say this is where we are. Rather than getting better, I'm not sure where we are. What's your take?
Well, it's difficult to answer that kind of question in a yes or no way. I believe we have made some progress here and there, but we are not where we should be, considering that Nigeria gained independence in 1960. And right now, we have had so many years of independence, and we are still where we are. In fact, countries that had independence around the same time as Nigeria. Many of them are doing a lot better than Nigeria. But you mentioned something. You talked about leadership and you talked about followership. So when we look at Nigeria, the problem falls on both leadership and followership. Now, how do I mean? If you look at my humble self being appointed a commissioner in a state, the next thing that people around me want me to build, if I had never had a house, I must build a house in 3 months or 4 months. I must have cars. I must meet their needs, their personal needs, out of how much that I'm rightly entitled to as a commissioner. So that's where it starts from. So when people celebrate their kinsmen being appointed into offices, then that means they are expecting something extraordinary from some people. And for them to meet such demands, then they have to do what is not expected of them. So that's where it starts from. So followership has its problem. Corruption is entrenched in Nigeria and in Nigerians. No matter where you find yourself.
How did you become corrupt? Was it an inheritance from the colonial rule, or it was from the military rule, or it was just a form, our own way of doing things in the military setting, in the civilian setting?
Well, I can't say whether, I wasn't much around before independence, so I might not know much about what happened before independence. But I want to believe that corruption has been part of Nigeria for as long as anybody can.
Okay, let's come to Honorable Dele Akile. Honorable, let's look at corruption as a major conversation along this line. I'd like you to also contribute to that question, talking about how we got here and all of that. Going back to memory lane, 1961 we gained independence. But he has pinpointed corruption as a major challenge. And for corruption to thrive, some factors are responsible. Let's look at all of this.
Yeah, thank you. The first thing I would say is this. When you look at the memory lane, Gowon caused major problem in Nigeria. General Gowon.
How?
Yes, thank you.
He's still alive?
Yeah. There was oil boom. There was money. His government failed to plan for future. Instead of planning for future, instead of having vision for future, they started doji. Just doubling. They started double the salary of every worker. They making merriment. In the same country, they don't do that. They plan for future, bringing investors, industries that will benefit us in future. They didn't do that. They just started distributing the money, borrowing countries' money.
Today we are borrowing money
different.
from countries.
It's different.
It's not a big deal to
it's
borrow countries.
different. When you plan for yourself before doing that.
What could he have done
now?
That he didn't do?
No, you plan for future. Industrialization of the country.
We had many industries at that time. There were industries.
No. Anytime you increase salary, you just have to. This is practical. Anytime you increase salary, whether minimum or the maximum or anything, the inflation will increase. Talk less of now doubling the salary, the present salary. That is one aspect of it. Now, the another aspect is the incursion of the military. General incursion of the military, because they were not trained for administration. And that was affected Gowon. Now, the government of Babangida, General Ibrahim Babangida, corrupted Nigeria.
Wow, how?
Yeah, thank you.
That's an allegation.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Yes, he's also alive. I'm surprised that the people you are mentioning are the ones that are alive.
Wait, during the Babangida, before Babangida era, nobody even talk of cocaine, talk of anything. It was Babangida that promoted all these things. The government, even the politics we are talking of today. My old man will remember, before anybody will contest, they will go and beg him or her. Then the person may be maybe a retired teacher, a retired civil servant, a community man, they will just go and beg him, okay, come and be our counselor. And the guy will go there because there was no much money in politics. But when Babangida came, he introduced a lot of things into politics. Wardrobe allowance. Even the wife, the first lady office, he started pumping money into all those places. So people now see politics as a business rather than serving people. They now came into it. They now started fighting for it. Instead of the community to pick his or her own representative, people are fighting for it. It was during Babangida so many atrocities were exposed. It was before Babangida government. When you talk of corruption, it started from those we see on the road. Before Babangida government, you don't see policemen collecting money directly. That's why they call it weighing. Yeah, Baba will remember. If you are traveling, a policeman will put one tin inside the bush for the driver to go drop money, even if they want to collect money. They will never collect money like this. But it was during that government, indirectly or directly, they legalized it. So, Babangida first came with a uniform for the police, without pocket. If you could remember, if you could flash back.
Trust me.
Babangida came with that uniform, without pocket for the police, was that exposing them that they are corrupt.
So if you don't have pocket, there's nowhere to collect money.
So things they don't do before, everybody was.
So who introduced pockets? Who eventually introduced pockets?
He later changed the uniform.
And introduced pockets.
Yes, another one.
So you saying we should go back to pocketless uniforms?
He sensitized people. That's what I'm bringing out.
Who sensitized people?
The government of Babangida. That the police, they are corrupt too. So it was after changing that uniform, they started collecting money directly.
So they now proved that too.
Since everybody has known.
There's no doubt that Babangida contributed a lot to corruption in Nigeria. Okay. There's no doubt about that. Because it was during Babangida's era that people will just find money in their account. Money that you have not worked for, settlement. That was when they came about this idea of settlement. That they just said to you, you have not applied for any contract.
What was it like during the Abacha regime?
Well, Abacha came in a way that, in a way that people didn't expect. People were not looking forward to Abacha, and Abacha came in. There was a lot of dissension when Abacha came in. People don't like him. So he came in with a lot of force, trying to suppress people. And in doing that, he also needed people around him. So he needed to actually also corrupt many people around him so that they can continue to support him. So you find a situation where, okay, if you want me to work with you, given that my people will not even like me to work with you, what do I get in return to show my people that it is good to work with Abacha? So that also raised the level of corruption in this society. Okay. And when he was talking, he mentioned Babangida politics. Well, was there really any serious politics under Babangida? No. But Obasanjo also worsened the situation. There were houses built for legislatures. Who sold them? Obasanjo regime sold it and was now giving them money. Now, if they have houses allocated to them, all we need to do from time to time will be to renovate. The furniture is there, renovate. So when they now started, when he sold out the houses, now they started having wardrobe allowance, they have allowance to rent houses, and they do that every 4 years. Imagine how much money we waste along that line.
Analyzing, these governments, the past government, and then, with what we've had in recent times now, do you think we're getting any better? Do you think, as we have new governments coming in, new administrations coming in, do you think, there's a sigh of relief from where we are coming from and where we are now? Prof, can you please go ahead with that?
Well, unfortunately, I won't say yes, because we need consistency. And 4 years or 3 years is not enough to change anything seriously in Nigeria. He mentioned Babangida era. Before him, we talked about Gowon. Things that you have left undone for so many years, you can't correct them in 3 years or 4 years or even 8 years. If you look at countries that have really made it, let's look at Ghana. The only time that Ghana made serious progress, if you heard of Rawlings planned coups in Ghana several times. He will hand over to civilians. You will see that they are doing the same thing again. Until when he now said, okay, I know what to do. The last coup that he has been arrested. In fact, he planned the coup from inside the prison. And he came out and he said the solution is, all these people causing problems, let's eradicate them. He killed so many of them. Not only that, he didn't hand over. After 3 or 4 years, he now metamorphosed into a civilian. So he had many years to do things. As long as we do this rotation, that we move 1 step forward and 10 step backward, we are not likely to make progress.
Okay, so, that's more like coming to recommendation. But before we do that, we have a lot of, things to unfold. But let me bring this honorable. The president is celebrating 3 years in office. Let's assess what he has done so far. Between the space of 3 years, there were a lot of reforms that were, put in place. But at the peak, at the start of his administration, was the removal of fuel subsidy. We also had foreign exchange market reform. That's talking of the floating of the naira. We talked about tax reforms. We talked about student loan scheme. Let's also not forget local government autonomy and electricity sector reforms, fiscal and revenue management reforms, and a whole lot of other reforms, that is not really even known to a lot of Nigerians. But before we pick it from the top, that's the fuel subsidy. And of course, the impact which a lot of Nigerians are still feeling till date. Give us, what do you think of 3 years of Tinubu's administration? How has it been so far?
Well, to God be the glory. He has been doing a lot of reforms, like you rightly said. But like Prof said, everything needs time. You can't get the result of the reforms within 4 years. There's no way. Let me tell you about Tinubu a little bit. When he got to power in Lagos State in 1999, that was how he started to reform Lagos. For those who knows them, everybody was shouting, "This is too much, oh. This is too bad, oh." That was when they named him Ojuyobo. But today, Lagos is better than all the states in Nigeria, because he laid the foundation and they were going along that foundation. The same thing is happening in Nigeria. Look, I have an opportunity to meet Tinubu in 2024. We have this, I belong to one Yoruba socio-cultural group called Yoruba Leaders of Thought. We worked for Tinubu in 2022, 2023. So when he won, we now, he now called us. We tried to pay him because they called to congratulate him. That was a year after. When we got to the man at the villa, the first thing they said is, I intentionally did not invite those that are not Yoruba into this meeting. Because the only person that was not Yoruba then, there was the Minister for Information. who, because of his own portfolio, should be there. All others are Yoruba, were Yoruba ministers. He said, my people, let me say this in Yoruba, and he said it in Yoruba. Nigeria bleed nígbà tí mo gbàjọba. Mi ò mọ̀ kó bàjẹ́ tó yẹn. When I was campaigning, mi ò mọ̀ kó bàjẹ́ tó yẹn. Nigeria was bleeding. That was what he said. That even looking from outside, he doesn't know it's as bad as that. That when he got there, he has to take some painful decision to rescue Nigeria. So he was there, he saw what was going on. Mind you, before he got there, they were borrowing money to pay salary. Buhari government was borrowing money to pay salary. So if you are borrowing money to pay salary, how will you get money to do tangible things?
Is Tinubu not borrowing money to pay salaries?
No.
So how is he funding
No.
salaries? Yet we are borrowing every day.
You are borrowing, it's not for salary. It's not borrowing for salary. Go and investigate.
Was Buhari at that time announcing that he was borrowing for salaries?
They knew what was going on.
No, but he was not announcing that the borrowings were...
He may not announce, but he saw the record.
I'm not disputing it. I'm not disputing. No government will come out to say, look, my people...
Tinubu is not borrowing salary now because what he's getting from the crude oil after removing the subsidy, he's getting money from that place.
I'm told that we are still paying somebody for subsidy. That subsidy is not totally gone.
That is, as a journalist, you need to investigate that.
No, maybe you could also clarify that.
I don't know anything about that.
So you believe
no,
that
there's still subsidy on electricity.
Oh, not on fuel.
But not on fuel.
No subsidy on fuel.
In fact, people are now suggesting, given the current situation of Iran war, and that the cost of petroleum products is going up, so people are now suggesting that the government should try and bring back subsidy in some form, even if only for a short while. Now, because that subsidy was removed, that's why the states
are getting money now.
Getting more money. And that's why the states, if you look at all the states, their first term for governors that are doing second term, their first term was not as easy as the second term. Because they were struggling.
Bro, let me come in, sorry.
All right.
You see, this removal of subsidy led to better money or higher money for the governors and the local government. Let me bring you back to something. You will know, Prof, you will know that immediately federal government increased wages. Each state will be negotiating. When they took the minimum wage to 30,000, states were negotiating.
Some never paid.
Some never paid. But you notice something when they took it to 70 during this no state negotiated. Immediately, the federal government announced 70,000. So they say I will pay 80,000.
Because they were getting more money.
From where? From where the money comes?
Of course, we know from the subsidy.
So that's the money. So they are using the money. The federal government is using the same money for salary. Because they are getting the money. But unfortunately, many states, didn't allow local government to perform.
Why? What is wrong?
I don't know. That's why we are talking of local government autonomy.
Yes.
That's why the federal government took them to court. Assuming these states were allowing the local government to perform, with the money they are getting now, the tension will have been reduced.
No, so if there was a Supreme Court interpretation of the local government autonomy, now, what stopped the local government from performing? I don't think the state...
But the money is not...
If the money was channeled to their own account, then they should be accountable for whatever they're taking.
Look, my sister, go and investigate. The money never gets to them. But they are just...
The federal government has not done the due
No.
The money should stop going to farm
everything.
I mean, to joint allocation accounts.
Everything has a rule. You have a rule to follow.
No, if we wait,
they
why
ask them,
don't we do the code properly? And I mean, that's why
they ask them to submit account. Each local government to submit account. Go and verify. All the local government in Nigeria, they just finished submitting their account this May.
So we're hopeful that from June, the money will go
Maybe.
Why the
Because, you see,
because the money is coming from the federal.
you see, the governors are so powerful.
The governors are empowered.
These governors are so powerful. they know how the local government chairman came in. And the local government chairman, they are under their control.
So let me
Even if money gets to them, and the governor say, put the money in this joint account. And you know the reason why they need that joint account. Because beyond the recognized local governments, many states have also created additional local council,
yes,
which will not get any funding.
Now let's quickly look at it this way. I want us to trash out this LCDA, the allocation coming.
Yeah.
Prof, let's assume you are a local government.
Yeah.
And money is coming into your coffers. I'm sorry, you're bigger than that.
No, it's okay.
And the money is coming into
I'm not bigger than
and the money is coming into, it's coming in under your supervision.
Okay.
And a state governor is saying, look, put the money here. And the people are holding you accountable. You will choose one. Either to be accountable to people or be accountable to the state government.
That's what any right-thinking person would do.
So that's why, from what you said, that's why I'm bringing up that analysis.
Yeah.
Now to say, the people are not playing their role. The people should begin to hold local government leadership accountable.
The people. When you say the people, what are you referring to?
You and I.
I don't even know how much was paid to my local government.
Because you're not asking.
How do I get to know?
You find out.
The money that is paid into a joint account to be shared.
The issue is more than what you are saying. Fine. Prof has said something. These local government chairmen were not elected. They were chosen by the government.
No, sir.
Wait. I'm a politician. No, I can defend whatever I said.
I am saying that I disagree. They were elected. In whatever state they were elected.
They were supposed to be elected.
They were supposed to be elected, but in all the states, we knew how they got there.
Okay,
in all the states, we knew how they got there. Have you ever seen, like, for example, in Lagos State, APC is ruling. APC is the governor. Have you ever seen a PDP man being the chairman of a local government in Lagos State?
The best they can get is one or two
councillors.
In
Oyo State, do you ever see an APC man being the chairman of the council? Now, let me tell you one thing. This chairman you are talking of, in this Southwest state, I don't want to mention the name of the state, in this current dispensation, about 2 years ago, a local government chairman challenged the governor. A local government chairman. He challenged the governor.
I think he lost his position eventually.
At the end of the day, he lost his position. All his entitlements were not paid up till today, almost 2 years. He was even shouting just last week.
Honorable.
That people should help him beg the governor to release his entitlement.
No, Honorable, let's look at it this way. That is one local government chairman out of how many? Minimum of 20 or 30. If all of them came together and did the same thing, it would not be an issue.
They can't, all cannot come together because of the way they were.
Then we need to go back to doing things the right way.
That is why we are clamoring that OSEC should stop conducting local government elections. INEC.
Why?
Yeah, if INEC conducted the election, all the 33 local government chairmen in Oyo State will not be PDP.
Okay, let's go back
So, assuming you have opposition will be able to say what you are saying.
Okay, let's go back to the Tinubu administration. Let's look at the economic viability, visibility of this federal government. What would you say has not been done that we ought to have done to lift the economy of this nation under this administration?
The administration has done a lot of things, but like I told you, you can't see the result immediately.
Why?
When you say the administration has done a lot of things, good or bad?
Good.
Policy. Let us have those policies you're talking about, because a lot of Nigerians might not want to agree with you on that.
That's what I'm saying. They won't see the result immediately. So if you don't see the result, how will you agree? Until the result comes out.
Yes.
Like what he said just 2 or 3 days ago.
Yesterday.
He said the result will be coming now.
When is now?
Anytime from now, that was what he said. I can't answer that question.
This administration is almost.
But he said we will see it. He said he know people were passing through pains. But now, from now, they will be getting the results.
Honorable, apologies, please, Prof. Before you.
That was what he said about 2 days ago.
Do you really think Nigerians are seeing a huge impact from this administration?
I said they've not seen it.
But do you really think, in all fairness now, when you say the president said, he knows Nigerians are in pain, do you really think, our leaders, our political leaders, truly feel the pains of Nigerians?
Why wouldn't they feel it? Why?
They have people around them.
They have people around it.
Yes.
Or do you think myself, I didn't feel it?
Maybe you're different.
Let's
quickly get your views on the economy of this of Nigerians, especially under this administration. How would you describe the economy at this time?
I'm happy to say economy of Nigerians. Because there is a difference between the economy of Nigeria and the economy of Nigerians. Now, when we talk of economy of Nigeria, people are praising the government. Even outside, even the World Bank. Wait.
He's talking of international community. Microeconomy.
Nigeria has really improved.
On paper.
Because we are not, even IMF remove us from the debtors list. That means we are doing well. Yes, that means, but do you know that before Buhari left, they've sold so much of our crude oil in advance?
Yeah.
And we are seeing, so we are selling, the money is not coming. That's part of what he inherited. So when we are talking of, it was because there was no money. That's what he was talking about. There was no money. We were already in debt. Serious debt. They were printing money. They were printing money.
They were printing money every time.
When you say there was no money, so where is this administration getting money from? To pay debts that the previous administration and other ones were owing.
Wait.
More prudent. And let's also
the government is more
this
prudent
administration
one.
has been said
Then
to
I think
borrow
the other issue is that all the money that we say this subsidy problem was also a huge load on the head of the former government. The subsidy. Not only the subsidy, even the foreign exchange problem. Because we are also not only subsidizing petroleum products, we are also subsidizing naira to dollar rate to the benefit of just a few people. So these people that were actually enjoying that, of course, they will not sing a good song about the current government.
But I said international communities are praising this government.
Yeah, because and that's why their investment is coming.
The economy of Nigeria.
That's what I say. I say the economy of Nigeria. Unfortunately, for many of us, it has plummeted. We are not really enjoying.
Why are you adding yourself, Prof?
Because I'm part of the society.
I just want to be sure that.
I'm part of the society. But seriously, when you look at the situation that we have on our hand, can we really say everybody's suffering? No. I was at a function with a fellow landlord, and we were just discussing that look at the environment. When you say the economy is bad, look at these massive structures that are coming up. Where is the money coming from?
Somewhere.
So some people,
it's the masses, not all
many of the masses, of course, we are suffering. The masses are suffering.
We, or are you included?
Am I not part of the masses? Are you not aware that we don't have what we now have is the rich and the poor? The middle class is gone.
So we learned.
Oh, so you learned. So you are not even aware.
You're just telling us.
No more middle class. No more middle class in Nigeria.
When we have, an economy where the improvement is just on paper, it's just rated by percentage, but the masses are not feeling it. Is that a good government?
No. Just like we said, first the improvement on paper will come before improvement in
physical one.
The physical improvement. That's what we are saying. That's what we are saying will take time. Now, if you do by the time we do the forex, what did they say they did now? They did something to the forex. So that
they float it.
No, they floated the naira. No, they didn't really say they floated the naira. But what they tried to do was to eradicate the multiple exchange rate. And by the time you did that, that actually amounted to devaluing our currency eventually. And the way we were going, in fact, some people were speculating that by the end of 2023 or 2024, that it will be 3,000 naira to $1. But we never got there. Now the thing has steadied at around 1,300 to $1. Then the other aspect of that is what touches the people most? Food. There's food inflation. As long as there's food inflation, people will still continue to complain. Because that's what I agree.
Food inflation, Prof.
You disagree?
I want to put it this way.
Okay.
Is it food inflation? Because you see food in the market. The resources to buy.
That's the inflation. That's the inflation.
That's the inflation.
Is it? No,
the food is there. It's not. There's no food scarcity.
No, food is there.
It's there, but people don't have the resources to buy.
Inflation. If you don't see it in the market, that's scarcity.
It's there. The food is there.
The food is there.
But people don't have the money to buy it. And why do we have that situation?
Yes.
First, we are Nigerians. All corrupt.
Oh?
Yeah,
yes.
all of us are corrupt in Nigeria.
Even the local people.
Yeah,
yes.
the level.
You see,
it's the level of corruption,
the level of corruption that changes. Now, when you look at an average farmer, some people will go to the farm, buy off what he has produced. I think it was last year or 2024. I saw videos of people who went to the market to buy a wedu bunch, maybe 5 of them, 400 naira. They will now go out, start to divide the bunch.
No, let's not use the wedu as a case study. And I'll tell you why.
Why?
But let's quickly pay these bills. Let's go on this commercial.
All
When
right.
we come back, I'll share with you.
All right.
Stay with us, don't go away.
Alright everyone, no pull your ears, make we talk. Time don't reach to rearrange this house to give us small wisdom. Shots might be fresh now, but you know won't beg no be so. Before I go talk, say our smell no reach. Maybe I think I'm trying so.
Ever heard of Colgate, the #1 oral care brand in the world?
Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection unlocks 24 hours cavity defense. The formula boost with calcium for lifelong smiles.
Mom, it's your time to brush. No more cover mouth.
Colgate for 24 hours maximum cavity protection.
All right, welcome back. It's still Saturday special, and our guest is still with us. Professor Babatunde Adegoke is here with us, and Honorable Dele Akile, who's also, of course, a political analyst. Professor Babatunde Adegoke is a public affairs analyst, and we want to thank you for staying tuned with us.
Thank you.
All right, before we went to that, we're talking about, the value chain.
Yeah.
Line. Somebody buying for 100 naira we do and selling for as much as
yes.
Now. So without looking at the season, a season, when you talk about it might not be a good product to use because it's seasonal. Why don't you use another product or another food item that whether there's dry season or rainy season, the price is partially stable?
Even if we stay on with a wedu, if you can get a wedu for 100 naira from the farmer, why would you want to sell it for 500 to the public? That's the issue.
Is this an issue of, apart from even looking at the
So it's not about the season.
Is it an issue of control now? We do not have price control in Nigeria.
I think the kind of market that we are running is difficult to even have price control. Because we are open market. It's easier to introduce price control when most of us will buy from a supermarket that they can now enforce the price. How will you enforce prices in the Bodija market?
Can I add one thing to
Please
it?
go ahead.
Just last year or early this year, government, because of their imported so many grains, food items, rice, elubo, even to Garish, they imported everything. Before you know, farmers are shouting, they wanted to kill us.
Because they are not making
Because they don't allow us to have gain. People are shouting here and there. That is Nigeria for you. I know of somebody, I know of woman that do go to, during Babangida and Buhari. Buhari gave money to rice people, the planters, those that plant rice. Buhari gave them money to do this thing in bulk in the north. I know some people from Ibadan here that will go to the north. Then, if they buy a bag, let's say they buy a bag for 20,000, the bag they will use in the farm is bigger.
They will repack it.
If he buy 2, let's say he bought just 2, he will repack it into 3 bags. That is 1. 2, before leaving Ibadan, he will show another bag, and they will write Thailand. For the rice they bought in Kano, they will say one is grade A. They will put that grade A into those bags. Apart from that, for the fact that 2 bags will give him 3 bags, he will now bring it back to Ibadan and be selling it as imported rice.
Okay. Now,
so how can you just measure that? How will government know that?
Now you're giving us these examples to show that there's corruption from the grassroots.
Everybody.
Yes. That everyone may be corrupt. I use the word.
Yeah, maybe
because
corrupt.
Because we are saying everyone.
Until when you put us in different positions, you will not corrupt we are.
Yes. Now that's about corruption. During the Buhari administration, the government said corruption was fighting back because one of the cardinal points of that government was directly fighting corruption. Is this government fighting corruption? Is there no corruption in the system? Because we barely
let me say this. There is actually no society without corruption.
No. I'm saying
you can only reduce
it.
I'm saying,
and I want to believe.
There is corruption.
I want to believe that the government, as much as possible, is also fighting corruption. Because we hear people being the EFCC this time around. At least we have EFCC that has secured so many convictions, and they've recovered so much money. In fact, they are telling us that the money that they are using for net fund is actually coming from money recovered from corrupt public officers. So I want to believe that the government is fighting. But you see, corruption is so ingrained in our system that it will take a lot of, and it will take something more radical. And of course, we also notice that the court is not also not cooperating.
Okay.
It takes so long to see the end of any corrupt case.
Before we go to the judiciary, let's look at this. Came up in the newspapers this morning.
Okay.
The headline said, kidnapping in Ogun State. Bag used to deliver ransom found in Seriki Fulani's kitchen. A suspect says, I knew my son was a kidnapper, but I thought he had stopped. Now, Abdullahi Muhammadu, the 67-year-old Seriki Fulani, a leader of the Fulani community in Ijebu, who was arrested alongside his eldest child by the police in Ogun State for recent kidnappings around communities in Ijebu area, has pleaded innocence, but one of the bags with which ransom was delivered was recovered in his kitchen. He, however, admitted that he was aware that one of his sons, Bala Muhammadu, is into kidnapping, but that he felt that he had turned a new leaf. He also insisted that he had no hand in his son's criminal activities, though they both stay in the same compound. The Fulani leader also admitted to having taken the wanted suspected kidnapper to the hospital for medical treatment for a month after being released from the correctional center where he served a 5-year jail term for kidnapping. I brought us to the issue of kidnapping because it has become a rampant situation today in our country. Now, let's look at the role that this government, the federal government, is playing to put an end to kidnapping. You see, kidnappers now have F-1 to say they want to collect 50 million. I've never seen that kind of money before. 100 million. I even heard yesterday that they now ask for 1 billion. And I'm like, how? How did we get here? Someone who's not doing anything? I just wake up one day, grab somebody and says he wants 50 million.
I think what we must appreciate that just like everything changes, even crime, that's the trending crime now. You will hear less of armed robbery, burglary, and things since the advent of kidnapping. Because they know that all you need to do for kidnapping is just get some people abducted, run into the bush, and be waiting for the ransom. And you are going to make much more than you can make from even going to a bank, and you are not going to risk being killed.
But looking at, you know...
So, I think the government, let's look at the current situation in Oyo State, Orire local government. We are talking of children being kidnapped.
Underage.
What can the government do in that situation? Until when they release those people, any attempt to use any force, we will risk killing those people along with them.
Prof, but when you say what would the government do in that instance, are you saying the government...
It said by force that if the government refused to give them money.
The principal came up yesterday in a video,
to give them,
to appeal to government not to rescue them by force because...
they will kill them.
They will kill them.
They will kill them. So that's why the government need to take it easy. That's why they need to
once still looking at the...
negotiate with them.
At least to get them out first.
Is that get them out first.
No. They made a demand. They said they wanted to talk with the governor, the executive governor of Oyo. No, if they talk with him, we don't know what they want to tell him.
I mean, what stopped them from making them?
I know that's we don't know what really led to it. So let's just pray they release them. Now let me tell you one thing. You see, you're talking of kidnapping, this and that. Even if you go into the Quran or you go into the Bible, there are robbers, armed robbers in the Bible, in the Quran, and everywhere. You don't ask yourself, in the last 3-4 years, there was no armed robbers again. Even on our road.
That's why I say it's a trending crime.
You didn't ask why.
Where were those armed robbers who were seen those days?
That's where I'm going. Whether you like it or not, armed robbers are to live. They are in the Bible. You can't eradicate all of them, you can only reduce them. Now, the government came out with e-banking. Nobody is carrying cash again. If armed robber enter a billionaire house, they won't get 10,000 naira.
So are you indirectly saying development is also enabling...
Wait. Let me land. So even in those days, for example, I'm from Okeogun, area for your state. If our mama are coming to buy things in Ibadan, the traders, the armed robbers will lay them. Collected all the money from them. Even on Tuesday, especially on Tuesday, when they will be going to Aswani market in Lagos. Within Hussein and Ibadan. But now, you couldn't hear that one again because there was no cash. All these mama were being trained on how to transfer money. So if armed robber cross the road, no money again. The same armed robbers turn to kidnappers.
Honorable, we are seeing a lot of some of these kidnappers. I mean, they come online to make videos. And that's to, disagree with you a little on, saying the armed robbers are kidnappers. We see a lot of children. We see a lot of children.
Do you want to tell me armed robbers are now born again?
Honorable, I'm not saying that. Honorable, we see a lot of children.
They are no longer in the business.
They must have gone to another crime.
They change business.
Honorable, but you would also agree that, Honorable, you also agree that we see a lot of children in this act. We see videos that have been made. We see children, we see underage with arms, with ammunition. So that is completely to say that not the people who we are thinking about entirely.
Who gave them the ammunition?
Not the people we are thinking about entirely, but when we have a lucrative business like kidnapping, abduction, thriving, how do you think the admin or the government is supposed to, tackle this head on? Because if it's looking like it's a big menace, of course. 2 weeks ago, kidnappers in Kaduna State, those that kidnapped, I think eve of Easter Sunday,
Yeah.
demanded 1 billion naira and 35 motorcycles from the state government. We also saw Borno State Governor saying that abductors and abductees should all be crushed. And instead of paying ransom, we'll use that money to sort their family members. When we get to that point, how do you think we can solve this issue?
It's not easy like that. You can't just crush everybody. People will still
In fact, the public opinion will turn against the government.
Turn against that government. That is one. Now, let me now tell you, the truth of the matter is that majority of the so-called armed robbers have turned into kidnappers. Majority, I didn't say all. Now, in every organization you have, there is always a mole. That is a major problem now. Even in the government circle, there's a mole. About 2 months ago, the governor of Zamfara, the current governor of Zamfara, said something, that they were doing security meeting. You know, this banditry and everything was much in that area. He said they were doing security meeting. The head of the military, commissioner of police, top government officials, they all sat thinking on brainstorming on how to stop these activities in Zamfara State. And they came out with some solutions. The governor said, within 10 minutes of the meeting, when they concluded the meeting, the bandit sent messages to him as the governor that, okay, all your solutions are now with us. You can't catch us with that. They told them everything they discussed at that meeting. That means one of them is a mole. How will you know that mole?
We already know, we know, in every organization, in every setting.
Let me finish. The generals that have been killed, it will be one of the army officers that will tell them we are passing through this area.
When we were forgiving the bandits who were supposed to be prosecuted, and we were now forgiving them, bringing them into the security architecture, what were we preparing for? To have more moles.
It's not all of them.
No, that's what we're preparing for.
Even those that are not forgetting are doing this thing. Okay, let me tell you of something that happened.
It was in this country the vice president was accused of being one of the financiers of these people.
Wait.
And yet he's still on the scene. He said there are moles.
Wait, 2 weeks ago. I mean, just last week, an SSA, Senior Special Assistant to the Governor of Castina, was arrested for kidnapping. If you don't know, go and find out. SSA, Senior Special Assistant on Community Development. They kidnapped an 8-year-old boy in his community. After government intervention, they paid the ransom.
The money for the ransom was found in his house.
They paid the ransom and they got the boy. After that, the government now started investigation. The police arrested some suspect. The suspect now said he was the one who sent them. When they got to his house, they got 75% of the money.
All right, let's take this.
So what can you say? That man will be at the meeting where you are discussing.
Honorable, let's take this to Prof now. Prof, we've heard a lot that if an administration, if there is issue like this, insecurity, heightened, issue of insecurity during an administration, the administration knows how to tackle it. But unfortunately, we hear of financiers. Those are the people that shut them up. Those are the people that stop them, from tackling this issue. Now, how do you think, because it's becoming a huge, we cannot even travel by road anymore. To go from Ibadan to Lagos is scary. Now, not to talk of going to Benin, going to Delta State. We hear of a lot of kidnappings happening on, those highways. What do you think, or how do you think this administration should start looking at tackling this issue before it becomes, a serious public concern?
I think one of the problems we have in Nigeria is that the people who are supposed to protect us, they are too few for the population of Nigeria. And that's why this idea of state police may help the situation. I've also said it on another program that if you look right Nigeria, everywhere, forest, thick forest, go from here, Ibadan, go to Ondo, you see thick forests on both sides. That encourages what? Abduction. All they need to do is stop your vehicle and manage to get to the bush, and that's the end. So those things must be taken care of. Why can't we put those thick forests to better use. Farming. I've just learned that Nigeria has most of the most fertile soil maybe in the world. Okay, but we are not putting it to good use.
Taking you back to the issue, before you come to that, taking you back to the issue of that incident in Sinai State, where Nuru Aliyu was arrested.
Yes, he just resigned because he wanted to contest.
Yes, in fact, that's where I'm taking you to. Now, it was reported here that the state government clarified that Guara had previously been suspended from his SSA position and had left to pursue political ambition before this incident. And that takes me to our political parties. Now, if you ask, Guara may say that he was trying to raise money for his farm to purchase farm. And whether we like it or not, we are creating these problems. Why would political parties sell farms to as much as 40 million?
100 million.
Okay, you said 100 million.
No, 100 for the president.
No, it's not like I don't know, but if it's this much, where do you expect them to get this money? What are they doing? That we're asking them to pay this much, and you think they will not join groups to kidnap people and collect this money from people? Eventually, the family of this child was asked to pay 50 million, and eventually paid 17 million. So if he actually apprehends or kidnaps like 5 people, he will raise money for his 100 million naira farm. Can we begin to look at it from this? Can political parties begin to see that we're also creating a problem?
There's going to be a reason for a criminal to be a criminal. You know, there's no justification for anybody to become a criminal.
Is it compulsory for you to contest?
Say, it's like somebody say, I'm hungry. That I'm hungry.
It means that they don't want ordinary man.
That is it.
It has always been like that from before.
It's just about the rich. It's no longer
it has always been like that before.
Are we saying that the ordinary man should not also have
it has always been like that since. And that is why you have Godfather, if you don't know.
So that they can buy farms.
That's what they can give them money, sponsor them.
That's
what it has been like that before.
And when they're in government,
the only thing I want to tell
Godfather will be the one to.
So how will we now stabilize
Excuse me. What I want to tell the audience is this. Is it our attention has always been focused on the government, and that's why the problem continues. We don't need to focus only on the government.
Who should we focus on?
Everybody, even the community, even the king, the traditional rulers. Let me tell you some things. We talk about Fulani. What of the armed robbers, the thieves among us? Wait, let me finish some things. I've listened to 2 people, they are journalists, on Splash FM when they kidnapped them and they were released. I listened to them on Splash FM.
Let's not mention the name of the stations.
Oh, sorry. I listened to them on radio. Their hall. They say, how do you meet their hall? They said the boys, 4 boys, that really kidnapped them on the road were Fulani boys, young boys with AK-47. On getting to the hill where they kept them for 4 days, they will be speaking Fulani within themselves. Then they will be speaking broken to those kidnapped. Then when they want to speak with their Oga that sent them, they will be speaking broken. Now, after the 4 days they released them, they said these Fulani were taking them into the main road. And they now said, Oga, don't face so. It's our Oga that sent us. Those who normally see us speaking pidgin with, they are the ones that sent us for this job. They will just give us 50,000. We don't know how much they collected from you. Now, the journalists are now saying, speaking pidgin with them, that means they didn't understand the language of the Fulani. That means they are not Fulanis. They just sent the boys on there and they gave them money.
The same way our people buy cows, put them on the road and ask the Fulanis to help them.
That's what I said. Now, let me finish with something. I talk of the traditional rulers. Our traditional rulers need to be upright. They knew where their land.
Conspirators? Maybe some of them are also.
Some of them are. Because they know where their land ends. If you go to anybody now in Ondo or in Akufo, you started tilling the land. Before 2 days, they will send you to who give you the land. But somebody now kidnap on their land, they don't know that person.
Okay, let's quickly go to the National Assembly. In the last 3 years, the Akpabio-led National Assembly, how would you say they have fared? Let's look at it vis-a-vis the federal government running the affairs of this nation, the constitutional amendment. We're running to the election year now, and unfortunately, as we speak, about a year, the constitutional amendment is not done yet. Prof, begin, please.
Well, constitutional amendment is a long process. We all know that. Of course, we're going to start from the National Assembly and get to the states. So many things cannot be done just at the National Assembly level. Now, I want to believe that the legislators at the National Assembly, they put in their best. And I believe that what people are expecting, which I don't believe, one, the function of the National Assembly is not to carry out projects in the community. Some people measure them. Some people measure them by how many projects they have done in their community.
No, let's not go.
Now, the second issue now is some other people expect that legislators, the executive, must fight the legislators. No. Even in America, you don't see them just fighting like that. There are times when the Democrats and the Republicans, we agree. Opposition does not mean just oppose. Opposition means support when you need to support, criticize when you need to criticize, applaud when you need to applaud. But we don't do that in Nigeria. So part of the expectation of the people is that this government is in the legislature, the National Assembly, is in the pocket of the executive. We cannot see them fighting.
What's different? What can you say differently that they have done since they got there that has changed the situation of the country?
I mean, there's been a lot of, talk about this particular assembly and how, they've not really done the bidding of the people, mostly the executive.
Are the biddings of
like
the people?
You said,
let me see the bidding of
using the, state police as an example now.
Yeah.
We're talking of the insecurity issue, and we are still debating on the creation of state policing. Should it be thought twice before? I am talking now. Of course, I know there is a process, but it's been dragging for too long. You will agree with me.
And national anthem.
You remember when the national anthem was changed? We did not even
hear
their processes.
What is there to debate?
Their processes are different. There are some things you just have to do. Involve the governors. They will involve the states before like national assembly. They don't need to involve
Honorable, let's look at it from the angle of human empathy now. We are seeing a lot of people being killed. If there is a solution or something that can reduce a reform in policy that can reduce these incessant killings in Nigeria, why do we have to?
The state police started last year. The president even originated it last year. And he called the governors to a meeting that, please, let's do this thing together. We need state police. Do you know only 16 governors out of the 33 supported the president? Others said they don't need it.
And he can't force it on them?
And he can't force it.
But we knew how we went to the Supreme Court to say that autonomy should
wait. And when he dialogue with them, it's only 16.
But should a matter of security be
you have to you can't force them. This is democracy. You have to. There are some things you have to take.
Are you saying this is democracy? So a lot of people have to die because it is democracy.
When those people that are supposed to support it refuse.
No,
you can't force them.
No, you can't force them. I agree. But we knew how we encouraged, persuaded, manipulated some governors to join the APC. But we cannot find a way. I'm coming.
Wait.
That's why I use those words.
Wait.
So, but we don't know how we can encourage
I will tell you what.
Them to actually embrace.
I will tell you what you don't know.
Please do, sir.
Yeah. Do you know APC governors are more than 16?
That's the point.
So it's only 16 that supported it.
Why?
It's because they don't like it. They don't
have them.
Why? No.
You should make them
those coming to APC, the governors coming to APC, the president didn't persuade them.
Really?
Yeah, excuse me. They came into APC because of the second term bid.
Honorable,
so that they will be able to win.
I think we should hear from Prof.
That if you are coming to APC, then you must embrace.
No. It is now. For example, I don't want to say it before, but I'm saying it now. Even our own governor last year didn't support it. But because of what is going on now, he now said it out that he's now for it. Because he saw what happened now.
Because we politicize
everything. They politicize everything. That's their problem.
Please hold on. Prof, when we have, an issue this huge of insecurity, and we are talking of state policing, should it even be debated?
That's the constitution.
That's what the constitution says, and that's the process.
That's the constitution and process.
Don't be surprised. There's also going to be a public hearing.
You just have to do it.
Law.
So now public hearing.
So there is what.
Then let me tell you.
Otherwise, some people will take them the National Assembly to court.
After the
National
National Assembly might have legislated on it, they will need the support of at least 24 states. State of Assembly, at least 2/3.
But it has to do with the Constitution.
Because they want to change the Constitution.
Because it's not in our Constitution.
So all these things you are saying, before they can change it, at least 2/3 of the state must support it, House of Assembly. So that's why it's not easy, like the one you are talking.
Okay, away from...
let me just say this. Let me say this. That's why sometimes the military, they don't have that kind of... Once the head of state wants to change something,
we just change it. Look at the state creation now. We can't create states in 1999.
Even
because of the process.
Buhari said it, that he wished that he was younger and that he was in the military. Now, there is corruption. You want to take people to court. Even after taking them to court, the court might say you don't have enough
evidence
and throw it out.
Let's quickly go into...
Like the one the INEC did now. INEC came out with the electoral law done by the National Assembly that you cannot cross from one political party to another. You see, immediately you bought form in a political party.
You can't go to another
party.
And
did primary, you can't go to another party now. That was what the electoral law said. And INEC came out with. But just last week, Supreme Court said no.
Let's quickly look at education because our time is fast spent. Under this administration, Nigeria's education sector has seen historical budget allocation reaching 3.52 trillion naira in 2025 and stable tertiary academic calendar. However, the sector grapples with severe inflation, rising tuition fee, and out-of-school challenges, prompting mixed assessments from the public. Let's quickly look at this. Of course, like we said, NELFund, the administration launched the Nigerian Education Loan Fund. NELFund, over 180 billion has been disbursed to nearly 1 million students to 100%, leading to student protests in 2024 and 2025. Okay, so let's also look at House of School Children. Initiatives like the Accelerated Basic Education Program and the Tagasaya Teachers Integration are sought to address the over 10 million out-of-school children in Nigeria, with over 25 children in the not integrated back into the classroom. Let's look at how this government is led in the educational sector. How would you
we also have the student loan scheme.
I think she mentioned
NELFund. She mentioned it.
Well,
let's begin.
Well, the government has actually done fairly well as far as education is concerned.
Fairly well?
Yes. Especially when you look at tertiary level education. Since Tinubu came in, there has not been any serious ASUU strike.
Serious?
Yeah.
Yeah. No serious ASUU
in the last
strike.
3 years.
And what more, Tinubu has been able to take care of the 2009 agreement, which has been on the front burner for many years. So he has been able to do that. He has also been able to help students, needy students, through the NELFund. So students can now say, well, once I gain admission, I'm sure that even if my parents are poor, I'll be able to finance my education. That's one. If I go for a 4-year course, unless we have local problem, my 4 years will be 4 years, not 7 years. Because that was part of the problem we were having.
How about out-of-school children? Let's hear from Honorable.
Well, you know, the federal government is all about tertiary institutions. The primary and secondary schools belong to the state and the local government. So if you see people that doesn't go to school in secondary school, that ought to be in school, in secondary or primary and didn't go, it is the state. So assuming what is going on in the federal, like NEL fund or some other things, other means are attached, maybe a lot. If you could remember during the time of Buhari, before they put politics into it, they were feeding students. It's just to encourage them to come to school.
Well, let me quickly bring up this, vis-a-vis all of this that we have said. I disagree that out-of-school children should be an issue of state alone.
Okay.
And why did I say this? If you look at some of the street children we're seeing today, they're from other parts of the country, and the law says that you can't stop anybody from crossing one state to the other. So the federal government needs to begin to look into children that are coming from some other state as almonjories, as children that are out of school that are being used to beg on the street. If you look at Oyo State, for instance, there is free education. So what's stopping child from going to school?
No, there's no law in Oyo State.
Some of them from what's that place called?
Sabo.
From Sabo area to another place. They have virtually looted the whole place. Cannot be used
what is the law that backed everything? A state can come up with a law, regardless of whether you are from Kano or Castina or Calabar, that so age, if you didn't go to school, you will be arrested. And immediately they arrest 2 or 3 people, others will adjust. It is just state function. No federal government will come and give you and talk about something in Oyo State or go to Kebbi. No, it is governor. You come out with a law. For example, I knew of the time they took them to Akinyele or Moniya.
Yes, Moniya.
Yeah, if you take them to that place and they come back, looted the place and come back to Sabo, did you arrest them? Did you make any law? Did you say you are not comfortable with it? Go to Mokola roundabout, see under the bridge, see how everything is now.
Let's quickly go to the health sector, as we call it a wrap. Over the first 3 years in office, President Tinubu's administration has delivered major infrastructure and policy reform, though citizens continue to face severe economic challenges accessing care. Okay, the federal health budget increased significantly. National health insurance enrollment expanded by millions to surpass 19 million citizens. And of course, at the Ministry of Health, we fertilized nearly 3,000 primary healthcare centers and launched major upgrades at tertiary hospital nationwide. Okay, so having said that, if you look at the health sector, we'll still continue to see the NMA residents, doctors, especially the resident doctors saying they're going on strike. They keep talking about allowances, this allowance, that allowance, and all of this keep coming up, and hospitals still keep going on strike. We see so many issues affecting the hospital, and here we are, 3 years into this administration.
I'm not sure that there will be any government that can stop all workers from going on strike from time to time.
It's not possible.
There will be agitations by the workers. And when the workers think that the only way that the government will listen to them is by them going on strike, they will still go on strike. Well, what all the things that you read out that the government has done, they are laudable. Okay? But the problem now is economic pressure is not allowing people to access. But he has also, I am aware that people that go for cesarean section,
yeah,
they can have it free. They even introduced this idea of feeding for families, pregnant women, and underage children. That's a recent introduction by the...
Should we be expecting major changes? Should we be expecting major results, or recording a huge difference in the next 1 year?
Of course, yes.
Prof, please.
I cannot answer that affirmatively. Okay. Because there are situations, look at what we had before.
I mean, based on
March,
what the president said during his speech and what
what he said,
currently
there are
going
things
on.
that you hope for things, but some other things will change what you are hoping for. For instance, before the Iran war, the inflation rate has been going down.
Yes.
All of a sudden, we are Iran war. People are talking about fuel. Were we buying fuel for 1,000 plus before Iran war? No.
Right,
so some other thing can come in, crop in, that will truncate whatever plan you have, and you have to go back to the drawing table.
Honorable, you said yes.
Yeah. Somebody that have his card. He has his card. He introduced all these policies, and he said everything has been implemented. That we will be hoping for the result. Yes, let's hope for the result. But like the Prof said, there are some unforeseen circumstances. That 90 may be 80. Just have to think of it, but we hope for the best.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your input on this particular conversation this morning. We've been talking about X-raying 3 years of Tinubu administration, and we had Professor Babatunde Adegoke, public affairs analyst, and Honorable Dele Akinleye, a political analyst. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Welcome.
All right. It's time for Global Updates. We'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Of course, it sounds really special on BCOS television, Iliake de Ruta Bashon in Ibadan. And the program is Global Update on this dial. Bimbo Akonbi is my name. A large fire destroyed an apartment complex in Dallas after fire crews responded to reports of a gas leak. Authorities say at least 3 people, including a child, were killed. Other residents are unaccounted for. Nearly 100 firefighters battled the flames that left the collapsed building heaped on the ground as black smoke billowed into the sky. The bodies of 2 adult women and 1 child were found in the rubble, Dallas Fire and Rescue said. According to press, 4 additional people were hospitalized with injuries.
We lived there. We lost our pets. We lost everything we owned. I had 3 rescue cats, Marty, Koi, and York, and we had 2 dogs.
It felt like the commotion was everywhere because the whole apartment was shaking. I feel very blessed that me and my sister were able to make it out.
News video showed dozens of firefighters at the scene. Some had hoses trained on piles of smoking debris, while others lifted and moved lumber and other burnt wreckage as if searching for people underneath. A natural gas explosion initially caused the fire. The Dallas Fire Rescue Assistant Chief James Rhodes said at a televised press conference.
We have gone from rescue mode to recovery mode. We are still actively in recovery mode, and we may be in this mode for the next 2 to 4 hours.
The fire is contained, but our members are still working on the scene to do primary searches, Rhodes said. We put a drone in the air to canvass the area to see if we see any victims or anything around. It was unknown how many possible fatalities we have, he added. And at least 6 laborers were killed after an under-construction bridge collapsed during a severe storm in Uttar Pradesh's Amipur district. Several workers are feared trapped beneath the debris, prompting a large-scale rescue operation at the site. According to officials, the incident occurred around 2 a.m. when a section of the bridge gave way amid strong winds and adverse weather conditions. Police teams, local residents, and personnel from the State Disaster Response Force rushed to the spot and launched rescue efforts. Additional Superintendent of Police Arvind Kumar Verma said authorities received information about the collapse during the night and immediately reached the site. He said a number of people were trapped under the falling concrete slab, while 3 individuals were stranded on a bridge pillar. Rescue teams are working to safely evacuate them and remove the debris. The chief minister also announced a compensation to the next of kin for the deceased and 50,000 rands for the injured and asked authorities to remain in direct contact with them to offer all possible assistance. In the meantime, 8 students alleged to have been involved in a suspected arson attack at the Kenyan girls' school that killed 16 pupils have been arrested, police say. The fire in the
who lost their lives and those who got injured may not be in vain, even though